I never trust that two similar topic articles are not related. In fact, once again, we find that they are. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about, and some of you may have seen this article or similar ones to it that say popular over-the-counter drug is linked to cancer. Now, it doesn't go into what that drug is, but when you read the article, they're talking about this, a phenazopyridine. Okay, what's that? Well, it's in the name, azo. This is an over-the-counter medication. It's a naturally found compound. It's actually a dye. And when you take it, it stains your urine this orange color. But that dye is actually an anesthetic to the bladder. So people who have urinary tract infections can take this over-the-counter supplement called azo, and it will numb the bladder while they're being treated for their urinary tract infection. Now, taking azo once every now and then is not going to be the link to cancer. The problem is when people take it on a daily basis for chronic bladder issues. Enter 1 week after that article came out, a second article. Well, the FDA approves a new antibiotic for UTIs. Oh my gosh, that other thing that you've been taking for UTIs for your comfort while you naturally get rid of the infection on your own or through over-the-counter things, that's no good. You're going to get cancer from that. You need this new FDA-approved antibiotic. This is a cancer therapeutic drug. And the drug that they found that they turned into an antibiotic happened to have this very interesting side effect that it kills gram-negative bacteria, which are mostly what cause urinary tract infections. This antibiotic works by blocking something called an efflux pump inhibitor. An efflux pump inhibitor is a molecular mechanism that bacteria can use to kick out antibiotics and therefore become resistant. The antibiotic that we're talking about that goes into the cell and has to work on the inside of a bacterial cell that the bacteria doesn't want there is called Cipro. Levaquin and ciprofloxacin, these drugs were not thought of as being a drug that would have antibiotic resistance, but as it turns out, if bacteria are exposed to enough of this, they will make a lot of these efflux pump inhibitors and therefore become resistant in this way. Now, cancers do the exact same thing. Cancers will upregulate these efflux pumps to get rid of chemotherapeutics. And so the goal in life is to try to augment a chemotherapeutic agent by blocking this type of pump. Now, here's the important thing that I had mentioned. These attack the same aspect of a cellular structure of the DNA, a topoisomerase. You have this molecule, bacteria have this molecule. So in other words, this drug, which destroys DNA, is designed to destroy bacterial DNA before it gets to your DNA. Well, we don't know. What does that mean? What we do know is that chemotherapeutic drugs in this category are very harsh on gut health, extremely harsh on the microbiome, and cause horrific GI toxicity. So I think my answer to these two stories is yes, I'm excited about this antibiotic from a standpoint of if a patient has an antibiotic resistant strain, here is something in our quiver that we can use to offset it. I'm not excited by the fact that I cannot find in anything published online or in the literature the negative outcomes, side effects, consequences of adding this new medication, which they've called blue japa. Azo, which is over the counter, has been used for 100 years in the general population. It is a safe medication to be used on occasion. So please do not fear azo and the cancer risk unless you're someone who has chronic urinary tract infections and you are taking a lot of azo, you need to pay attention because that is a real problem. But be cautious. Look at this. We need new antibiotics for uncomplicated UTIs. We should not be using new antibiotics for uncomplicated UTIs. We should be reserving these for very complicated UTIs because sure as I'm sitting here, a bacterial organism is going to figure out how to usurp this process, and you'll be exposed to all kinds of potential serious side effects that we don't even know about yet. If you've got a simple UTI, try to flush that out with cranberry juice and water. If you need a supplement, you can try something like oregano oil or garlic, echinacea, something called golden seal. These things, when used in combination, can help fight off very simple urinary tract infections. I would urge people with simple problems to start simple first before reaching for the antibiotics because antibiotics have serious consequences. This new antibiotic, Blue Japa, is going to be uncommonly expensive. We don't know what the side effects are going to be. And honestly, I think they need to be reserved for people who have resistant organisms present. That way we have an arrow in our quiver that we can use in a pinch.